Ruifang District, TIMA members head over to visit and care for the elderly. In our feature report, we take a look at how the EPA initiated a photo and sound-based detection system for vehicles. Selamat datang ke DaAi Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. In Ruifang District near Taipei City, TIMA members head over to visit the elderly once every 2 months. The medical volunteers not only bring medical services, but also spiritual comfort to the seniors. This place we visit can give others a lot of strength. When patients see Tzu Chi Volunteers coming, they feel a little happier. This is what I think we can't learn in other hospitals.
In the cold temperature, TIMA members conduct a visit to the remote village, and many patients are scheduled in Ruifang. An 80-year-old grandma has a bedridden daughter-in-law. Her son is also in poor health. She complained that she was old and her life was so miserable. The doctor gave her a spiritual remedy.
I'll pat 3 times in your front chest and 4 pats in the back. The bad things will have gone, right? We Taiwanese say that the first 3 and the back 4 will be patted and everything will be resolved.
TCM physician Lin Zhengchuixia delighted the seniors happy during the medical consultation, so that the elderly's illness is resolved in laughter.
We can sing with joy to make them feel happy all day, and then they'll look forward to the next time we come again.
Tzu Chi's free clinic in Ruifang has increased from 6 to 8 routes after 2016. Tzu Chi helps to provide more comprehensive care for the elderly who cannot go out for medical treatment.
Being able to go deep into the family and understand the situation at home, whether it is medication advice, diet or physical movement advice, we can give them a comprehensive comfort.
Like this grandmother, she stopped taking the medicine prescribed by doctor by herself. The doctor finally let her understand the seriousness of stopping the medication.
We need to educate her as she cannot feel the difference. But in fact, this medicine is still useful. It will lower your blood pressure and heartbeat. Stroke can be prevented within a safe range. In fact, this is very important to the quality of life.
In addition to visits, there are also freelance medical services in Fixed Point. The 97-year-old senior who came to see a doctor solved several problems and also donate her love.
If you're in trouble, it would be great if someone can help. Only those who are able to help others are useful, but it's not good to be helped.
TIMA's visit time in Ruifang has gradually passed, but the friendship with the residents will last forever.
In Johor Bahru, Malaysia, heavy floods occurred recently. Tzu Chi Volunteers split into teams and assessed the damages. In addition, Tzu Chi Entrepreneurs from disaster relief groups to purchase supplies, aiming to provide timely assistance to the affected residents in the shortest time possible.
In the aftermath of the flooding in Johor Bahru, Malaysia, Tzu Chi Volunteers headed to the temporary shelter to see what was needed by the affected residents. At the same time, volunteers and entrepreneurs cooperated, forming a team to acquire supplies.
We want to quickly deliver these supplies to temporary shelters, because these are daily necessities and essential supplies they need. We purchased many buckets, ladles, some bread, and also crackers.
Compared to the affected residents, we really are a lot more fortunate because they had to go through the disaster. We really hope to deliver the supplies and goods they need to them as fast as possible.
The supplies have been delivered. Before the distribution, volunteers also used the disaster relief blankets as an opportunity to raise awareness.
We need to go vegetarian and protect the environment to save and love the earth. We also hope that through our brief sharing, we're able to convey the love from Master Zheng Yan, remind the affected residents that everyone has to do their fair share to contribute to protecting the environment.
To distribute supplies in a COVID-19 danger zone, the volunteers have come fully prepared with protective measures.
疫情的确是严重，只要说我们有
The pandemic is severe, but I think it will be okay if we follow safety procedures accordingly. When I was in Africa before, the situation there is even more dangerous. Back here in Malaysia, the government is doing a good job. So as long as we follow the safety procedures and protect ourselves, which is very important, then I don't think we need to be too worried.
就是要保护好自己，这个是很重要。我倒不觉得怎么关系。
We need to maintain social distance. For example, if we have 6 people in the tent, we will reorganize so that there's only 4 people in the tent. We're really grateful for the people who have come to help at this temporary shelter.
With the supplies delivered directly to people who need them, love transcends even the social distance.
In Kaohsiung, a year-end blessing ceremony was held recently. A retired Lieutenant General Pan Jinglong has vowed to be responsible of spreading the awareness of stem cell registry in the Army after he was certified as a Tzu Chi volunteer. Take a look. As the newly certified volunteers receive blessings from the Master, their path on Tzu Chi has officially begun. For retired Lieutenant General Pan Jinglong, being certified as a Tzu Chi volunteer is the beginning of his responsibility in promoting stem cell registration in the Army.
I hope that for a stem cell registry drive, more and more young people can spread their love to those who are in need. Dharma Master Zheng Yan recalled the days when she first started Tzu Chi Foundation from the small little hut in Hualien to now being an NGO which has assisted 119 countries. Even when Tzu Chi is carrying out disaster relief in Indonesia, the local army, navy and air force also lent a helping hand.
有信心，但是呢，不骄傲，一定呢要心啊，爱谦卑啊，和双手合十，只要一个心念转，法轮转，看它就可以运转普天之下。
Volunteers from Kaohsiung also made vows in response to the Master's wishes.
我的用心，听法入心，现在之雄，日日坚定，勇敢行动。
有你的啦，当然啦，师父感恩你。 给我做了，所以和合互协，三力合心。
Volunteers treat the Master's mission as their own missions. They have vowed to give their best for Tzu Chi missions, being more hardworking and outgoing. In Kaohsiung, Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Tiancheng was once a carpenter with bad temper. After joining Tzu Chi, he has changed his bad temper and always prioritizes Tzu Chi's work. Unfortunately, he suffered a stroke back in 2018, but that does not stop him from volunteering. Let's take a look at his story.
I started being a carpenter's apprentice when I was 14 and officially became a carpenter at around 18 or 19. Back then, I had a bad temper. Whenever I got angry, I would start scolding others. The master once said, "Getting angry is like going crazy." So I told myself I can't be angry anymore. I've changed a lot after I joined Tzu Chi.
After joining Tzu Chi, carpenter Wang Tiancheng has changed his bad temper. Whenever there are woodwork projects for the Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall, he would be the one responsible.
In the beginning, I carried out all the works at night. Later on, I felt that it would take a long time if I do them at night. I felt that my job outside was not in a rush, so I just stopped them.
He always puts Tzu Chi as his top priority. No matter it's the Golden Horse Train, the DaAi Compassionate Auditorium or the Great White Ox Cart. These are all done by Wang himself. Unfortunately, in 2018, he suffered a stroke.
I was too tired and I didn't notice and got a stroke. I cannot blame others as many other people who suffered a stroke at the brain stem have already passed away. I'm fortunate to still be alive. In the beginning, when I was speaking, nobody understood. Now when I speak, others are able to understand.
He is very hardworking in receiving treatment and doing physiotherapy so that he can head back to volunteer once again.
He is a very hardworking bodhisattva. He is able to do tough works now. So he comes here and dismantles the closed hangar as a form of rehabilitation.
No matter it's doing woodwork 3 years ago or doing recycling right now, his life is full of wisdom.
We just have to be diligent in our works every day. We do not know if tomorrow comes first or impermanence strikes first. If tomorrow comes first, it means we have another day to do good deeds.
In the past, noise measurement for vehicles are mostly reported and tested on site once the owner arrives. This greatly reduces the effectiveness of law enforcement. Therefore, in 2021, the EPA initiated a photo and sound-based detection system, a system made in Taiwan which takes the visual and sound cues at once, increasing the accuracy of detecting noise violations.
Actually, this happens quite often at midnight. There will be modified vehicles that speed through the roads.
When I'm sleeping at midnight or doing my homework and prepping for a test, the people speeding on vehicles are very noisy.
Frustrating noises will weaken a person as the EPA signed a new law promoting reports from citizens and pullovers. This ensures noisy vehicles are off the road.
Like this vehicle, it has a rotating speed of 3,570. Taking its range of plus and minus 100, it goes from 3,650 to 3,850. But it cannot exceed 90 decibels because it is a 6th-generation vehicle.
After the phone connects with the system and with a step on the pedal, data can be extracted through this noise measurement test. The equipment has to be 50 centimeters close to the exhaust pipe, forming a 45-degree angle and forced in an environment with low dB.
3 meters around the vehicle, there must be no obstacles. And at the testing site, there must be no wind, no rain, and the ground has to be dry. The wind speed has to be under 5 meters per second before we do the test.
Testing on site seems perfect on the exterior, but actually plenty of loopholes can be found.
The current test on noise level can only be used on exhaust pipes. As for traditional vehicles and engines, the noise level check on site cannot measure the correct noise level.
When a vehicle is illegally modified, the owner will be notified to come back for another check. Before arriving, he will change the exhaust pipe and return for the check.
The current methods allow loopholes, therefore it's better to catch a current offender on the roads. In order to do so, technology is here to help. This is called sound photography, combining weather, visual, and sound cues together. The system records everything at once while monitoring traffic.
Because this is a combined device, it includes an anemometer, a camera, and another camera here. Look at the holes here. In these holes, there is a noise audiometer.
Not only is there a noise audiometer in the machine, the cameras are connected to a computer, auto-detecting license plates on the road. Once the noise levels are too high, a vehicle can be photographed, recorded into the system. Under multiple vehicles, the system is still able to detect which vehicle violated the law.
Within the 3 seconds of taking the visuals and sound, we record the process. This is to ensure that the vehicle we checked on produced the noise level violating our standards.
Actually, vehicle noise is easy to report, but in 2019, 15,000 cases for vehicle noises are reported. Besides the complaints until October of 2020, most of these reported cases are at New Taipei City's Ruifang District's Zhongshan First Road, making it the noisiest road in Taiwan.
The sound photography system goes like this. On a 50-kilometer speed limit, the vehicle cannot produce noise levels more than 86 decibels. On faster roads with 50 to 70 kilometer speed limit, the vehicle must not exceed 90 decibels.
With technology, law enforcement officers have an easier time catching current noise level offenders, filling in the loopholes while returning a cleaner environment to the public.
In China, 34-year-old Liang Long was once a PhD student studying in the U.S. 5 years ago, he was diagnosed with hereditary superficial siderosis and can only rely on his elderly parents to take care of him. Volunteers have been caring for this family since June last year, providing much-needed support for the family. His limbs are all stiff and needs assistance from others to stand and sit. This is 34-year-old Liang Long. He was diagnosed with hereditary superficial siderosis back in 2016. Volunteers have been caring for him since June 2020.
Volunteers have provided love and assistance to us, a complete stranger. We do not know each other at all, yet you helped us. I feel that my soul has been purified.
After the son got sick, the people who worried the most are his parents. Unfortunately, Liang Long's father underwent a brain tumor surgery last year in October. When all hope was lost for this family, volunteers appeared and lent a helping hand. As both her son and husband got sick, Mrs. Liang lost her sense of direction. Volunteers have promised to be their strongest support, accompanying them through this tough time. After encountering much difficulties, Mrs. Liang now donates into the Bamboo Coin Bank daily, hoping to spread love to other people in need.
This is nothing compared to what you all have done. This is just a little bit only.
Volunteers' love and care has provided the needed positive energy to accompany the two elders. It is also hoped that Liang Long's health will also recover soon. Vietnam Tzu Chi Volunteers visited Travin University to raise awareness of the need to reduce plastics. They also taught students about different categories of recycling so they can understand that reducing plastic waste begins by not using plastic items.
Learning the recycling slogan, these students know very clearly which items can be recycled and which cannot.
As for recycling categories, I only knew about 2 or 3 of them, but thanks to Tzu Chi's education, I know very clearly which can and which cannot be recycled in the 10 categories.
Recycling begins at the source, and it's best to use less disposable items instead of waiting to process these plastics.
This lesson on recycling has raised the students' awareness of the impact on the planet, and they also speak on the 10 things which are contributing to global warming. Change begins with daily habit, no matter if it's making enzymes from fruit peels or clothes made from plastic bottles. Plastic reduction at the source is the root solution.
Chế lại rồi sẽ sử dụng các cái phần mà cần thiết thôi chứ không sử dụng nhiều các chất mà không thể.
I'll use less plastic items and slowly change my habit of using items that cannot decompose naturally. When I go to school, I'll use a container to replace buying water in plastic water bottles.
Sau cái buổi hôm nay thì em sẽ học được nhiều kiến thức để tham gia bảo vệ môi trường, cùng chung tay mọi
I've learned so much today about environmental protection concepts. I will do my part to sustain the earth like everyone else. I also share these concepts with others. I also look forward to learning more about planet sustainability.
These students are not only actualizing these concepts, but sharing it with another, making the world better one person at a time.
In Taiwan, universities have begun to admit students with non-declared majors, as many former students believe they studied the wrong subjects. Offering greater choice in curriculum also allows them to transition to the subject of their choice in the next few years. Follow a report as we learn more.
In fact, we have always been told what to do and how to grow up. We're also told that if we get into a good college, we'll get a good job. We have always been taught this way, as this has been instilled in us.
Ye Jiayu originally studied in the Taiwan Literature Department of National Cheng Kung University. Unfortunately, she had little interest in many of the courses.
At that time, I always felt that I was tied up by literature studies like this subject was binding my hands and feet. I really wanted to study some history and then other subjects, so I thought, why do I have to declare a major? I just thought that I would give it a try, and then I started to like it, and I thought I should continue.
Becoming a student with an undeclared major meant that she only needed compulsory credit in 3 topics, and the rest of the topics she could decide by herself.
Forming my own learning path and connecting with my own interests allowed me to actually pursue what I wanted to study.
Ye Jiayu's non-declared major means that she has taken classes opening up an unimaginable world for her. Now she has walked on the first street developed in Taiwan in this ancient capital, investigating every brick and every tile which attracts her. This is an elective course from Urban Planning Institute, which is now attracting her interest.
Regardless of the department, our classes are more flexible, and our mastery of our future path in education relatively high.
Universities in the future should have a model where students can design their own major or professional study. It should not be so limited, as there is a need to pursue more interdisciplinary studies.
In the future, what kind of professional talents will be needed?
There are only two kinds of futures. One is the known continuation of the present, and the other is the unknown future. What you see that can disrupt the world is the unknown future.
Can our education system afford to give more freedom?
I've always felt that our generation has a responsibility to open up different opportunities for the next generation.
National Taiwan University announced that the courses will become more and more flexible in the future. There is even the possibility of customization made by students. As soon as the 2022 school year begins, National Taiwan University will introduce students to study with no declared major.
One way is entering the university and later deciding not to declare a major, and another way is accepting students directly into multidisciplinary studies. We would like to start with students that have first entered NTU, not when recruiting students or after they have enrolled.
Huang Jingjie made robots, and he was in high school and used drones to detect air pollution. He entered the university based upon his special selection qualities and decided to go to National Cheng Kung University's interdisciplinary program.
I'm a very thoughtful person, so I feel that this college, regardless of department, can give me the opportunity to do a lot of things that I want to do.
Looking at his class schedule, most of his elective subjects are related to chemical engineering, so why didn't he directly choose the chemical engineering department?
Studying in the Department of Chemical Engineering means I have to follow the system set up by this department in terms of credits. But if I don't have a specific department, I can just choose what I want to study. After I finish the credits I want, I can go to the other college to learn more, and I can do interdisciplinary studies and related learning.
In fact, many people told me that if you promote multidisciplinary studies, this means that you do not value professionalism. No, I still value professionalism, because this cross-department structure is even better and can build more professionalism.
In a survey of students at National Cheng Kung University, as many as 40% of students said that they studied in the wrong department. A job bank survey also shows that as many as 66% of 20-something office workers believe that their work has nothing to do with what they studied in school.
Business owners say they pay more attention to what certification job seekers have, or what competition they have gone through in school, what kind of clubs they have participated in. They even ask about this topic and substantive things rather than just a diploma.
When times have changed, if education methods continue to stay in the past, the true essence of education will be lost.
Well, we should cultivate is ability, not academic qualifications. As long as academic qualifications can help you, I've told many people that your university qualifications may be useless some 3 months after you graduate.
In the future, what you will need is not just a diploma, but actual academic ability that proves your value in the workplace.
In Hualien, the Department of Cultural Affairs have launched a project to restore the ancestral buildings of the Bununs. We'll leave you these images. Thank you and goodbye.